and welcome back to Treehouse Garden. We're not in the garden today, we are in the kitchen. I harvested a whole bunch of green beans, a couple bulbs of garlic, some fresh dill, and I have some dehydrated habanero peppers from last summer. And today I'm going to be making some spicy dilly beans. And I'm super excited because I'm using my brand new Presto canner. It's a digital canner, so normally I'm over the stove, boiling water, sweating, heating up the house. And today I'm super excited to use this kind of like hands-free, super easy digital pressure canner that's gonna make the job super easy. So thanks for joining me. Don't forget to like this video, follow for more, and don't forget to seed the day. All right, so I'm gonna wash these while my canner gets ready, but let me show you how to set up the canner. So you're gonna take out the insert here, and I don't think you'll be able to see it on the camera, but there's a little line in here that you fill the water. So let me do that really quick and I'll be right back. All right, so I have the insert filled to the line where it's indicated to fill it. I'm gonna put it inside the pressure canner. Next goes my little plate that goes on the bottom that the jars are gonna sit on. Next, I'm going to plug in my canner. Green beans water bath for traditionally 20 minutes, so I'm gonna set my digital canner to 20 minutes. Perfect. Then the next thing that it says to do is fill my jars halfway full. I'm just doing 2 because I think that's how many dilly beans I can make today. You could easily fit 4 jars this size or 6 smaller, and I'm just gonna rest them inside of the canner, and then I'm gonna put on the lid. The lid, to line it up, it's got a little line here, so we're just gonna line it up, twist it on. Gonna take off the pressure gauge for now, and then we're gonna snap the lid shut. So we're gonna turn it, close it. All right, so now we just sit and wait until it's ready to process the cans and get them sterilized to do the next step. So the canner indicates it's time to fill the jar, so I'm gonna take off my lid. My jars are not super hot, but they're warm, so I'm gonna use my little handy dandy Presto jar grabber thing. There's probably a name for it. I'm just gonna empty the water out into the canner. All right, so now's the fun part. We're gonna fill the jar. So I'm starting off with 2 dehydrated habanero peppers. They spell spicy. You can use any kind of dried peppers you like, including dried red pepper flakes if that's what you have. Put in as many or 0 if you don't like spicy, but these are, after all, spicy dilly beans. So 2 go in there. And then I just harvested smells so amazing, fresh clove of garlic. These are beautiful cloves. Wow, this is from 1 head of garlic. I got these at Peaceful Valley in Grass Valley, so check them out if you haven't been to that nursery. Okay, so those are going to go into the bottom of the jar. Next, I'm going to take a whole bunch of fresh dill from the garden. Make sure you check your dill because a lot of times you're going to find some caterpillars because tiger swallowtails love dill. So I left a bunch of dill for, there were 2 caterpillars out there, so they've got lots to munch on. The rest has been washed and it is going to go into my jars. Next, into my jars, I'm going to put a tablespoon of canning salt. You're like, where are the beans? They're coming, I promise. So again, my beans have been nice and washed. So the trick is to do this. I turn the jar sideways and I just start shoving my beans in there. Some of them are kind of long, so I have to kind of push to get them in there. Some are short, and so I'm gonna fill the jar. All right, so now that I got the jar number 1 full, I'm gonna do jar number 2. I got a lot of beans left over, so I definitely misjudged how many to make today. All right, so I want to make sure that the beans are way past the top of the lid And now I'm going to add my liquid. So let me grab it from the microwave. All right, so now I'm adding, this is 2 cups water, 2 cups vinegar that I heated in the microwave. You could do this on stove, of course, but I'm going quick and simple today. So we're gonna add them to the jars. So I just filled the jars to the first measure here. I'm gonna take my little doodad, another thing I need to learn the name of, and just kind of push around in there and go along the sides of the jars. And this is just to get any air bubbles out that might be in there. Not a lot, looks good. Okay, and then I'm going to dry off the tops and brand new lids that are sterilized, and I'm going to screw them on. And back in the canner they go. So now we're going to put the lid back on. Slide it shut, locked it in. The pressure gauge is still off of the canner. Now what's going to happen is it's going to steam the jars for a little bit, and it's going to still release some pressure, and I think this is going to take about 10 minutes. So the next thing I'm going to do is push the little play button here on my canner, and then we wait. So as you can hear, the pressure canner is beeping, indicating that it is time to pressure can. So we're going to put on the pressure gauge. Be careful, there's a lot of steam coming off of here, and you don't want to put your fingers on the top where there's holes, because you could burn yourself. So I'm just gonna put it on top. Beautiful. And now it's going to pressure can. So I'm gonna push the next button, the play button on the canner, and it will let us know when it's done. It's really important to, once it's done pressure canning, to let it sit for a good amount of time, because you don't wanna open it when it's unsafe. So from now until they're done, it's probably gonna be about an hour. So I'm gonna go work in the garden. I'll see you back in an hour. Welcome back. It's actually the next day. I got a little carried away in the garden. I have to say though that this pressure canner is life-changing. Like, there's no hot water to dump and big pots to fill, and the house doesn't get hot, and it was like super easy. So I took my cans out. They sealed properly. Everything looks great. There's no hard water stain on them. Like, they look really nice. These dilly beans can stay in the pantry for up to a year. They won't last that long, I promise. You can serve them with like a charcuterie board, but you know my favorite way to enjoy them is in a weekend Bloody Mary. Thanks for joining me again. I hope you try your hand at making some spicy dilly beans.